All right, we're going to call this meeting to order. It is 11:35, and today's date is Wednesday, July 3rd, 2024. We're here for meeting as the Board of Equalization for evaluation appeal hearing for parcels ending in 0530A and 2014A belonging to the Hacks. The appellant has not appeared, so we'll just be moving to the assessor's side in a minute. You've heard the rules since you've been doing this for the last day and a half, so I just need to have you swear in. If you'll stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay. All right, so let's give the assessor their 10 minutes. And if the appellant shows up, we'll give them a final word, a final closing.
Sorry.
I'll just show that there, save this in passing.
So I give this one to Heather, the last one, since the appellant's not here. Or keep it.
For Heather? Yeah. You usually get one of these, don't you, Heather?
Not you. Not
You don't?
normally.
Oh, it's for her. She comes. I get you.
Okay. All right. The subject property consists of 2,522 total square feet with 1,478 finished square feet and sits on 0.32 of an acre lot. It also has a detached garage. It is 42 by 24 with a concrete apron and a 6 by 12 shed. Also, on the other property, it has a 15 by 28 pole building. These two parcels of land are being valued together. Comp number 1 sold in February of 2023 for $310,000.
Do I dare come in?
Come on in.
You're finishing up?
No. This is your hearing. We had to start at 11:30.
Okay.
So.
I thought you had somebody else. I was waiting, sitting out there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. We'll get you in here in just a minute. We're going to let the assessor finish their part.
Okay.
You can come up to the table.
My husband's sitting out there right now.
Oh, you want to go get him?
Maybe I can tell. He's sitting out.
Sorry
right
for the
there.
interruption. We'll start your time over there. Well, that's, I guess we didn't think to go with
Realize they
the
were
law.
part of it. So we were at 11:30.
Thought I might have seen it.
Okay. We've just started, so we're fine.
Howard. Okay, so Robbie, we will let the assessor finish and then we'll swear you in and let you do your 10
Okay.
minutes. Okay. Go ahead.
Comp number 1 sold in February of 2023 for $310,000. It is located 0.1 miles away from the subject property. It has 35 finished square feet more than the subject's property, but less improvements to the property. This sale is built the same year as the subject property as well. If I were to add all the improvements from the subject property to this comp, it would raise its value even higher. Comp number 2 sold in August of 2023 for $279,000. It is located 0.6 of a mile away, 0.06 of a mile away from it, and it is 0.005 of an acre smaller with less improvements done to the property. This property does have some concrete and an attached garage. It is 12.5 by 30 and has one less bedroom and a half bathroom less. If I was to add the same improvements from the subject parcel to this parcel, it would be relatively close to the subject's assessed value. Comp number 3 sold in July of 2023 for $299,000. This parcel has 1,060 finished square feet, which is 418 square feet less than the subject. It has a 14 by 22 detached garage with some concrete and a 8 by 12 shed. If I were to add all the improvements from the subject property, it would increase the value higher than the subject's property. According to the appellant, the auto wrecking facility is the biggest contributor to warrant a value decrease. However, two of the comparable cells used that I use are in the same area of the wrecking yard. Comp number 2 being on the same road as the subject property and the wrecking yard, which is Burke Road. As far as the rental staying vacant because of the auto wrecking facility, the market does not show that it is a definite reason for vacancy. With two sales in the neighborhood, considering the comparable sales, the class and condition of the subject, and if the wrecking yard is having any effect on the value of the property, which in our opinion it does not, the value of $295,111 is fair market value.
Anything further? Okay, so you guys missed out. Come on up to the table. I'm gonna catch you back up again. And
Okay,
did you give them one of those?
I get one of those too.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you gonna be testifying? Okay.
Okay.
So I need to swear you in. So if you
Right.
stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, be seated. So we'll give you 10 minutes to present your facts on the value of the home. Then the board will ask some questions, and then you can have a closing statement.
Okay, can I look at this real quick? Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, as far as them comparing the properties, we are right across the street from the wrecking facility. The wrecking facility has been a problem and has been turned in for blights. There has been some stuff done for the blight, but they have not pushed it to make sure it's gotten totally fixed and cleaned up. I'm worried about with the tires and everything, and if anything happens with that catching, the whole neighborhood will go down for that because the tires will totally ruin the smell into the community. Now, I understand he is away from our property. It is not right across the street. And there is a major difference because of that. We have gone over and over with trying to get the commissioners or the DEQ or whatever to try to get it, because then our property would be worth the amount they're saying. The other thing is I could not understand is what improvements was I supposed to have done to my property? He's saying if I would have done or they had done the improvements. We did. We haven't done any. We painted, cleaned up the yard. We have not done, and I'd like to know what he is talking about for improvements.
And we'll give you a chance for that here.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Just, I would like it to be looked at. And even if you have to go and drive by, or do you have to make a decision today? I'm not sure. You do, okay. Because you could drive by. I did take a picture today, just so I have it on my phone. That way you guys could see it if you wanted to see it, what it is today.
Okay, so we will go to questions from the board, to the assessor, or to the appellant. And the first one might be if you want to address, if you could address her clarification she needed right there.
I can answer. Improvements is anything that's done to the land. It doesn't mean you've done improvements. It's anything that's been done to the raw land. It could be a house, it could be a garage, it could be landscaping. That's what improvements to the land is. So,
Can I talk with him or not?
Go ahead and let's just get this cleared up
okay.
for you.
Because I water my grass, the grass was there.
No.
I didn't do any.
you're not listening. The improvements is what's done to the land. It could be a driveway, it could be the house, it could be a shed, fencing, landscaping, it could be any of those.
Haven't done any of those.
There's not a house on the property?
There
The
was.
house.
You're going about the taxes this time to
Would you
going up
answer the
this.
question, please? Is there a house on the property?
Yes, sir.
The house is the improvement.
Okay, these properties did not have, he's saying that these properties, I've done improvements.
No.
And he was saying,
He's saying
And they-
these properties, these are the improvements. The improvements he's talking about is a garage, a house, those type of things.
yes, and it's always been there when I bought it.
Right. That's what's been
Right.
improved on that raw dirt.
So let me try. Robin, what I think he's trying to say is it's not an improvement like you improved it from last year. It's been, an improvement is anything that's been done to the land since God made it. So if you add a house. Or
That I
something.
understand.
So those are the improvements he's talking about. Now, I think you misunderstood what he was saying as you came in because you might have missed the first sentence or two
Right.
on what he was saying about the improvements on these other
The
properties.
comparable ones, not necessarily yours.
Could you say what it was you said?
I said the subject property consists of a 2,522 total square feet with 1,478 finished square feet house that sits on 0.32 of an acre. That's both of your lots together.
Mm-hmm.
It also has a detached garage, 42 by 24, with a concrete apron and a 6 by 12 shed. On the other piece of land that you have a 15 by 28 pole building. If I were to take all the improvements from your property and put it on my comparables to match your property, their value would be higher than yours, is what I was trying to say. So your value is at market value for $295,111. If I were to take your improvements and place them on my comparables, it would raise theirs significantly.
So that's what you're trying to
That's
say.
what I'm trying to tell you. Yes.
That helped because you kind of came in the middle.
Right, yeah.
Okay. All right, let me go back to questions from the board.
I don't have any at this point.
I don't have any at this point. I do have some information on the tires and everything. The problem is right now is it's in limbo. The county, since she has gone and it could go back to the state, so nobody's really opting to who's going to take care of the tires. You know, the county can't take care of the tires. We don't have the money to do that. The family doesn't have the money to do that. And I don't know if the state already said that they wouldn't, but if they ended up getting the property, then they probably will. So that's where we're at. It's just, we're kind of on hold.
Well, and the even if you're going to go with your blight, if you're going to just the coming out of my properties and looking across the street, they don't even keep it behind the fence. And that's rules you guys put out. It is let's see. You have your ordinances. Here's this one, it's 160, and it's ordinances for them to keep it cleaned up. And it hasn't been done, and I feel it values my property because it hasn't been taken care of by the county making them do it.
And how long has that been a problem? Is that-
Outside, I have pictures, they're at home, of when it wasn't that way. And I have to pull them to bring them in for you.
If you had to estimate.
The way it is right this moment has been a few years back, because here is one that the prosecutors did a formal notice to them. And this is 2021.
Okay.
So that's why I went to basically a 2021 item.
Okay. Which answers my next question is how did you come up with the value that you placed on it?
That's how I did because nothing, even though it's a formal notice done, nothing was taken care of.
So nothing changed on this neighboring property, but the market has continued to change on our homes is a challenge that we're all facing right now. But I understand your concern about I live at Pine Creek. We have some of the same issues. Do we have any other questions or clarifications from the board?
No.
No, I don't.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do, Robin, is give you a couple of minutes to make a closing, anything you want to say that you haven't said or reiterate, or any other evidence you might want to bring up.
And I probably would be going over some of the same. Like I said, I came up with the 2021 value because that's when the formal notice had gone out from your prosecuting attorney's office. And with going with that value, I felt was fair because we have not had it taken care of by the county. And the county is involved as far as your prosecutor putting out for blight, not even if you want to take the wrecking facility whole situation out of the picture, it's still on the blight of what is there, and it's still there. And like I said, if you would like to see a picture from today, it's worse today than it was the pictures I sent you because they don't keep it up.
Okay,
Okay?
let me give the assessor closing comments.
I don't have anything great.
No closing comments. Okay. All right, then, at this time, the board will stop taking evidence and go into deliberation mode. Do I have any thoughts or questions or ideas from the board? I think I understand Robin's argument that the blight, in her mind, reduces her value. But I also see the assessor showing us that houses in the vicinity are holding a value similar to her property. So I understand both sides of the argument here.
I would agree to the same.
Fortunately, that's not part of the consideration in the assessments in Idaho code too of what needs to be brought before us to comparable of making changes.
So by Idaho rules, what we needed you to bring probably were evidence of sales that were of properties like yours that were more in line with the value you listed, because we have to go by what's actually selling.
The ones that sold in the neighborhood, they have totally gone in and redid them. The newest one that just went up, they stripped it down to the bare walls. And they put insulation in, they put in sheetrock, and totally put new kitchens and bathrooms and everything. I haven't done that.
Have you let the assessors in the home to look at them?
When was
But I
that?
don't have any. I can take pictures.
When was that sale?
That hasn't sold it. The one that is
These are all actual sales.
right,
So
and which has gone down in just the last 6 months too.
what's
Your sales, they were selling constant, and right at the moment we have 5 in our area for sale. That's
Okay.
quite a few.
we,
Before we were
we used all 23 sales in the area that were actual sales, not listings.
right.
Yeah, and
And-
this has to be this is for 2023, so it has, they can't use 2024 sales, they have to use 2023. Even if the market went down in 2024, it wouldn't be used for the 2023, so they have to use the 2023 for this notice.
Okay, any thoughts or motions?
Don't have any more thoughts.
And the Idaho code directs us to go off of the evidence. We have to provide evidence, that substantial evidence that contradicts the assessors. And I don't see the evidence. The code only, it doesn't give us the latitude to go off of anything else but the evidence. So at this point, you didn't provide enough evidence to show that the house was, that the assessor's notice was, or assessment was wrong.
So in other words, the evidence that the assessor has shown us tells us that you probably could sell your house for that much, is what we're seeing right now. Do you have a motion you want to make?
I'll motion to uphold the assessor's assessment.
I'll second.
A second. All right, do we have any final discussion on that motion?
No.
No.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, so Mr. and Mrs. Houck, we're going to uphold this based on the evidence of sales that your house really is worth that, in spite of, and just think what it'll be worth if we can ever get them cleaned up. So
Then I have to watch out for Jerry.
then you'll have to
But
watch.
if you had Jerry come into the house and if it is older fixtures and everything else, they can do, they can look at that and, they have to be able to see it themselves to be able to assess it. So, that's a good option. I know we've had quite a few people that have done that and it's lowered their assessment.
Okay, so we stand adjourned from that meeting, but the next one is yours as well, right? I think you have.
Oh, I thought they were both together.
Oh,
It's the same, pretty much.
3 minutes.
so the next one is the
The rental.
two properties, ending in 2018 Alpha and 0540 Alpha.
Which one? Okay. Because I don't know. That. Okay.
Is this the neighbors?
That's the neighbors. All of those are the neighbors.
Well, by the rules, I'm going to wait 2 minutes to start this at 11:30 as advertised, in case one of your neighbors has seen this and wants to come in and hear it.
Okay.
I have to wait. So
Right.
anybody that wants to be here.
It's, yeah.
Let me know when you're ready.
All ready.
You are ready.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll call this meeting to order here at 12 o'clock. We're here meeting as the Board of Equalization for the purpose of valuation appeal hearing on parcel ending in 2018 Alpha and 0540 Alpha for the Hack family. And since you missed this in the last one, I'll go over this for you. This is a quasi judicial hearing, so it'll be recorded. Again, we will swear you in to present testimony and swear in anybody else giving testimony. You'll be allotted the first 10 minutes will be for you to present your facts and data that demonstrate why you believe the property is assessed above market value. Then we'll give the assessor 10 minutes, and then the board will ask questions, and then we will deliberate. Okay? So if you would stand one more time, we're going to swear you in one more time. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay. So Robin, you get to go first. Tell us what you want to share about this property.
Well, basically it's saying the same thing. It is directly across the street from the wrecking facility, or now it's just property because you guys did not give them a license to go in as a wrecking facility this year. Mainly they were supposed to clean up so they could have their license and be able to be a wrecking facility. And they have no more than cleanup to be a wrecking facility. They're not even cleaning up to be a house. And I don't know if you guys on the other side saw the pictures, I think, okay, of what it is that's across the street. And you can take a house in other towns, and if you plopped them in a beautiful home in a neighborhood, maybe a half mile away was another beautiful home, and drop that house in to that bad neighborhood, even though a half mile down the street there was a really nice one, that house wouldn't be valued the same because it is in a different kind of neighborhood right there. And ours is with the Burke. And so it does not have the neighborhood feeling. When years ago, and like I told Jerry, I could get pictures of before it got this bad, that I could bring, but I don't have them with me. And it could show there was at least a neighborhood. The business was behind the gate, not all out front, to make the neighborhood down. So everything I said before would be with this same situation.
Okay.
So, okay.
Thank you. All right, assessor's office.
Hand out these again.
Is this the same one?
Pretty much, it's just different subject,
Different subject.
but same comps because two of those cells are relatively close.
Thank you.
All right. The subject's property sits on a half acre with both pieces of land being valued together. The dwelling is 1,767 finished square feet with a 496 square foot deck, a 14 by 30 pole building, and a 36 by 30 pole building. It has 3 bedrooms and 1.5 bathrooms, also an attached garage of 24 by 24. Comp number 1 sold in 2023 for $310,000. It is located 0.1 miles away from the subject's property. It has 254 finished square feet less and less improvements than the subject's property. If I were to add all the improvements from the subject property to this comp, it would raise the value higher than the subject's. And comp number 2 sold in August of 2023 for $279,000. This cell is located 0.06 miles away, and it is 0.0235 of an acre smaller with less improvements done to the property. This property does have some concrete and an attached garage. It is 12.5 by 30 and has 1 less bedroom and a half bathroom less. If I were to add the same improvements from the subject parcel to this parcel would be relatively close to the subject's assessed value. Comp number 3 sold in July of 2023 for $299,000. This parcel has 1,060 finished square feet, which is 707 square feet square feet less than the subject. It has a 14 by 22 detached garage with some concrete and a 8 by 12 shed. If I were to add all the improvements from the subject's property to this comp, it would increase the value higher than the subject's property. According to the appellant, the auto wrecking facility is the biggest contributor to warrant a value decrease. However, two comparables used are in the same area of the wrecking yard, comp number 2 being on the same road as the subject property and the wrecking yard, which is Burke Road. As far as the rental, what? That's a mistake. As far as the auto wrecking facility goes, the market does not show that it is a definite reason for a decrease in value. The two sales in the neighborhood, considering the comparable sales, the class, the condition, and the subject, and if the wrecking yard is having the effect on the value of the property, which in our opinion it does not, the value of $287,415 is fair market value for 2024.
Anything further? All right. Questions from the board?
No.
My question for the assessor, comp number 1, I'm thinking I recognize that house. Is that a newly remodeled home?
Yes, it was remodeled.
Completely stripped down and remodeled. So I don't know the rules, but how does that make it a comp for a house that hasn't been remodeled?
I go by the sale of what it was and the price and the area for it. Also, with this house, I did not do an interior. I got everything that it got remodeled with was off of realtors, so I could go through and look at the pictures of it being remodeled. Just like the subject, I never went into the subject's property to assess anything of that nature.
I see.
But using ProVal, which is a tool that we use, this value is what it came with. Originally, we had this assessed.
No, I don't.
That one here. Oh, it's probably easier for you.
Yeah. 2. We would take this assessed would be right at $304,000. It was actually assessed less than what it sold for, even with complete remodel.
Okay. My next question was for you. Is this your primary residence that we're looking at right now?
You're looking at the rental.
Oh, this
That's
the
the one you
rental
showed me, right?
Property, right?
Let me see.
This
This is the one.
subject property?
Yes, that's the rental.
That's the rental.
And how long ago did you go by each one of these homes?
I just did your area last year. I
Okay.
went and I knocked on the rentals house and the house, and I got no answer from either.
Okay, what time of year?
If I could see on the picture, I can't.
726.
7/26? I can't
July,
ask him anything.
July 26th.
The deck was taken off. The deck is gone. There is no
As
deck.
of this, when I was there,
It was last year.
Off the
And
home?
that's why I'm, say what?
Off the rental one that we're talking
The
about?
rental one we're
Okay.
talking about. You see, set it down a minute.
Yeah,
See this deck, it went wrapped clear the house.
okay.
It's gone because it was eating on the one side where the snow would stay.
yeah,
It ate,
when
or,
when
yeah,
I took
that
that
one.
picture, it
Right.
was still on there.
right, and
So I didn't.
we had taken it off last summer. And, oh, you don't have another
No.
picture. It wraps all the way around here. When the snow comes off of here, it was ruining all our brick, and we have to figure out how to fix the brick because it's falling apart.
Okay.
So,
Value of that deck.
Okay, that was gonna be my next question, is the value of the deck.
Wooden deck. $2,761.
Okay. All right, do we have any further questions from the board?
No,
Could we adjust that? Or
You
did we?
can.
Okay,
it was 2076.
2,761.
2,761.
60.
Okay. If there's no further questions, I'll let them have closing comments. So Robin, you get a couple minutes to, anything else you want to say or add to this?
No, I just wanted to know when he went around and did it, and he answered.
Okay. Assessor's office, anything else you would add?
You would recommend that the value of that deck be removed 2,761.
All right. Nothing further? Okay. All right, then we will close taking of evidence and we will deliberate amongst ourselves. So does anybody object to the idea of taking off the value of the debt?
No,
nope.
Okay. Does anybody have any other thoughts on this property?
No, I do not.
no, we don't.
Well, I'm going to motion that we reduce the price of the home by $2,761 to reflect the deck problem and the removal of the deck. Do I have a second for that?
I will second that.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Okay. So now we're looking at the value minus that. Do we want to uphold? Is there anything else we want to do, or is that all that you guys feel like we can do at this time?
I would agree, that's all we can do at this time without evidence of,
I'm just doing the math so we can have a motion for a final price on the house.
284, 653.
We're showing the house at 280, 881.
287, 415 minus the
Oh, so those are
2761.
added together. Gotcha. Okay. So it'd be 287, 415
Minus,
minus
2,671.
2,761.
Now you're throwing the number off. 2,761.
Okay. I'm recalculating that. 287,415. 287,415 minus 2,761. So I would motion that we reduce the total price of the house to $284,654 for this year.
okay,
I motion that.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
I,
Aye.
All right, so we did remove the deck, but for the same reasons as before, the assessor is showing what sales really are. Your house really is worth more than you probably think. Okay, all right, that's the best we can do for you today, but that's something anyway. We got the deck cleared up.
and we'll try on the rest. Yeah, are we done here?
Yeah, we're done. We're adjourned.